Alright squad, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an updated classes and settings video for Modern Warfare Search. So I'm going to show you guys all my classes, all my settings, all of it for PC. I'll also show you guys my controller settings. Then when I did run controller a while back, some of you guys still asked me for that, for what my settings were when I ran controller. I'll show you those too. So I hope the video helps. Hope you enjoy. Leave a like if you do. If you're new to the channel as well, do me a favor and subscribe and join the squad at the time of recording this video. We're about to hit 79.4K. So if you do me a favor and subscribe, help us get there. I really would appreciate it. We're trying to get to that 100,000 subscribers. Also, follow me on Twitch. If you've not, I've been streaming pretty much every day, and I've also started doing weekly streams where I play with some of you guys. So if you want to play Search with me, or come watch me play Search with other SnD YouTubers, Hummus Thunder, Strafe, Handler, etc., all my homies, come hang out. I stream pretty much every day. It's twitch.tv/DylanSeek. Hope to see you over there. Anyways, though, I'm going to show you guys my classes and my settings. I hope you enjoy. Let's hop right into it. Alright, well, we all know what the meta is in this game, so I don't feel like I don't really need to go over exactly what the best weapons in the game are and break it down. I'm really just kind of going to go through the classes and the way I have them set up now. We all know two best SMGs, Uzi and MP5, the CR56 and the AS Val are the two best rifles, and then of course there's other sniper setups and other classes that I want to show you guys that are just classes that I've really enjoyed using lately, and then I love running at Search that are really great honorable mentioned classes to run in SnD. So I'm just going to go through those, starting off with my two rush classes. The main guns for those are my Uzi and my MP5. On my Uzi, I run the FFS Carbine Pro Barrel, Merc foregrip, AE rounds, stipple grip, and close quarter stock. I know in the videos I've been playing around and changing the Uzi setup around. I've been playing around with just different attachments on the gun, but I keep finding myself going back to my OG Uzi setup, the close quarter stock, stippled grip, AE round, Merc foregrip, Carbine Pro Uzi. It is just the best Uzi setup I've used. Honestly, I've played around with so many different things on this gun. You guys know it's my favorite gun of the game. Uzi gang, represent. But it's just, the setup's perfect. The setup is perfect. Nothing I want to change. The red dot is great. The Uzi's just pretty much amazing as long as you have the barrel and the AE rounds. It's all kind of towards your preference. I've been playing around lately with running like a red dot instead of the stock, which is all right, but I miss the ADS speed of the close quarter stock. I get asked a lot as well why I run close quarters over no stock, and the reason for that is because I used to run no stock on the Uzi, but I stopped running it after they nerfed no stock and gave it more idle sway and vertical recoil. And so with that, it made it harder to hit people across the map, which for those of you guys that haven't used the Uzi and do not know, and if you haven't used the Uzi, you hurt my feelings, use the Uzi. The AE rounds plus the Carbine Pro Barrel make this gun outgun half the rifles in this game. It's disgusting. So having this thing be accurate at long range is very, very, very helpful, and I run the close quarter stock instead because the no stock boosts my movement, helps my hip fire a little bit, and also boosts my ADS speed. The hip fire, don't really need that much extra help with it. It's already pretty good without the no stock. The Merc foregrip does enough of that already. I'm kind of chilling in that department. In terms of movement speed, I rush up my knife anyways, and the gun already feels light enough. I don't really feel like the extra movement from the no stock is really that necessary. The ADS speed is really what I care about, so that's why I put the close quarter stock on, because it doesn't mess with my recoil as much. And when I'm trying to hit people across the map, this gun is like pinpoint accurate. It has no idle sway whatsoever, whereas with the no stock, it kind of does. So that's why I run the close quarter stock instead. Onto my MP5, my class setup has changed for this class. It used to be much different. I currently run muzzle brake, Merc foregrip, 10mm rounds, sleight of hand, and collapsible stock. I used to run, instead of muzzle brake, I would run the mono integral, and then I would take off the collapsible and I'd run sleight of hand. This is still a good setup, but it's not as, I guess, aggressive is the term I'm looking for. It doesn't have as much of an ADS speed, much of an aggressive movement. It's just, it doesn't feel as good as this current setup with how aggressive I like to play in this game. So I kind of switched it out running this setup, and people be asking me why the muzzle brake. Listen, it's hard to describe. Just try it. The muzzle brake is kind of a secret gem for the MP5. Also, the blueprint, which I get asked a lot for both guns. My Uzi blueprint is the Luna, and my MP5 blueprint is the, where's the MP5? There it is. MP5 blueprint is the Desert Bloom blueprint with platinum camo on it. And then of course I have Obsidian on the Uzi. But the Uzi blueprint, everyone asks me because of the iron sights. It's the default Uzi iron sights. If you just run the default Uzi with no blueprint, you'll get the same iron sights that I have. Other blueprints that have these iron sights, the Freight Train has the iron sights you want. The Luna does, and then there's another one, Thin Ice. Thin Ice also has the iron sights that are good for the Uzi. The other ones are pretty ugly, as we know. All right, for my rush classes secondary, I run the knife. I get asked all the time, knife or Kali sticks. I prefer the knife. Kali sticks are fine too. I've ran those some too. Honestly, it's just kind of a preference thing. I like the knife blueprints, so I run those. Everyone knows the Kali sticks are a little bit faster than the knife, but the Kali stick isn't fast enough to affect your timings on your rushes, and because of that, I don't really feel the necessity in running it. I prefer the way the knife looks, and I like the fact that the knife's a one-hit kill. I understand the Kali sticks, you hit them twice really quick, and it has a good lunge, but something about the knife, I just prefer it, and I love the blueprints for the knife mainly. I love running different knife blueprints, whereas the Kali stick blueprints just aren't as cool, so don't really run the Kali sticks. And then the swords, those run super slow. Never use the swords. They run way too slow. Look cool, but you run way too slow with them. Perk setup for my rush classes. One big change that has happened since I came back to Modern Warfare is I've kind of stopped running Killstreaks. Black Ops Core made me realize with how good the Killstreaks are in Black Ops Core, made me realize how bad the Killstreaks are in Modern Warfare. And with that being said, I kind of just running specialists now, and it's very satisfying to use specialists. Having all the perks on the game at once is very nice. Specialists is not as good as it was in Modern Warfare 3, but it is kind of helpful to have double time, quick fix, and high alert and all that with EOD all at once. So with that being said, my setup for specialists, I usually start out with EOD, restock, shrapnel, and then I go double time, quick fix, high alert. That tends to be what I run. I also will sometimes, as you can see on this class, I'll switch out double time, and then I'll just have EOD as my first one instead. Those two will just flip around. Same thing goes with Ghost. I'll put Ghost on, and then I'll just flip that out for restock and get restock when I hit specialist bonus, whereas I would have gotten Ghost when I hit specialist bonus. Just depends on the situation and the map I am playing. As far as lethal or tactical goes, I'm mainly running Semtex. I run Semtex or Frag, but it's mainly Semtex at this point. There's only a few maps I run Frags on depending on the spawn nades, like Piccadilly or Ramaza, for example, or Harbor. I usually run frags on those for the spawn nades. For the most part, I can do the normal spawn nades with the Semtexes, and I kind of run the Semtex more because of the amount of riot shields I run into. So that way, if I run into a riot shield, I don't have a thermite on, I have a Semtex just in case, and since I have restock, I'm able to just stick them with the riot shield with the Semtex and get the easy kill instead of having to rush them with my SMG and most likely die to a shotgun. As far as tactical goes, I flip between the three: stun, smoke, and stim. I mainly run stim, but I switch off smoke and stun depending on the rush route I'm running. If you haven't seen my rush route videos on Modern Warfare, those show what I mean with my different routes I have for different maps. All depends on the map and the route I plan on running for what tactical I use. 99% of the time though, I'm running stim, but I do switch out for smokes and stuns. Stuns like on Harbor or Oil Rig, I'll usually run stuns. Smokes, I usually run on Piccadilly. It just depends on the map I'm running. All right, next up, my rifle classes. As far as perk combinations goes, it's literally the same as my SMG perk combination. Just how aggressive I play, I usually just run it like this. And with specialist on, it just kind of works out that way. Just for rifles, I usually never switch out EOD for double time. I'm usually just running EOD. Only thing I ever really switch out is if I go restock for Ghost instead. That's really about it. Knife secondary, same lethal and tactical combo. This is my CR56 class, which I run the mono suppressor, Zodiac barrel, commando foregrip, stippled wrap, and the exo stock on. Best rifle in the game, favorite rifle to use. It's kind of the underrated broken gun because the Val just outweighs it just enough, but this gun is insane. Probably needs a nerf, but man, is it satisfying to use. Love it so much. All right, skipping over my sniper class real quick, we're going to go over to my no friends setup, which is the setup I only use when I absolutely have to, and this is my Val class. Val attachments, I run the 200 barrel, Merc foregrip, flitter mag, stippled grip, and the 6P30 stock. I get asked a lot because most people run a different setup. Most people usually run the commando foregrip and then the VLK stock. I don't like this setup. Yes, it has less recoil, but I don't really have much of a problem controlling the Val recoil, and this gun isn't very aggressive with this setup. This gun to me feels like it should have a lot of mobility, and when you put that setup on it, you don't have much aim walking speed. It just doesn't feel as good, in my opinion, as setting it up more kind of SMG rifle mid-range hybrid type gun, where I can play aggressive with it and I can map people long range when I absolutely have to because of my ability to control the recoil. So Val, this is the setup that I run on it. If you don't really like the way the Val feels with this setup, try this one out and play a little bit more aggressive with it. It'll surprise you. I don't really recommend using the Val, but when you have to use it, you have to use it. So, you know, make sure you have a setup that you're comfortable with for the gun. I know I'm not the only one that prefers this setup to the Commando and VLK stock one. Now, one thing about this class that's different is I run amped instead of shrapnel. Besides that, everything is the same as my other rifle classes. Here's why I run amped instead of shrapnel, because every once in a while, I get in that special lobby that just deserves a special touch. I mean, yeah, we'll go with that, a special touch. And so in that case, I want amped on case I have to flip over to overkill and throw on my good buddy, the 725. In which case we have a Val 725 class, and this is only used on very, 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 very special occasions. I also tend to leave the amped on this class because usually when I have to pull out the Val, it's in a lobby that has Vals and 725s, in which case if I kill somebody at 725, I'll pick it up and I'll be happy that I have amped on so that I can abuse it against his buddy that's probably using the 725 as well. So this is just my anti-SBMM class. This is just the class I use against a party that's driving me crazy using the best stuff in the game. Seriously, people, how are you not bored of using the Val yet? Can we please just all, as a collective unit, stop using the Val and even the 725 and honestly the SPR too? Just ignore those 3 guns and we can all have a more enjoyable experience in Search and Destroy. And if you disagree with that, it's probably because you use those guns all day long, and that's okay, but you just, come on, let's use some different guns, people. Anyways, moving on. Moving on to my sniper setup, I'm having way too much fun with this aggressive sniper class. It's just setup meant I just rush, but I also have the sniper to play around with while I'm rushing. So it resulted some pretty cool clips, sniper and SMG, just combination clips, which is really entertaining to watch. You guys saw it in one of my recent videos. I'll probably do like a full video with this class soon because it's a lot of fun to use. But sniper, we got the 17 barrel, tac laser, single arms assassin, stock, focus, stippled grip, same MP5 setup as I showed earlier, EOD overkill amped, high alert, quick fix double time for the specialists, Semtex, and Stim. It's basically just one of my rush setups, but I have a sniper on it too, so I could kind of play snipe but also aggressive with the SMG when I need to as well, which makes it pretty fun to use. Highly recommend. Couple extra class setups I want to show you guys if you haven't seen the videos I've made specifically on them or whatever recently. These are just a couple class setups that I've been really enjoying using in Search and Destroy, so I want to go and show you guys. These are not meta best class setups in the game. They're good class setups, but they're not, you know, best gun sweat mode of the game. These are just fun class setups to run. Starting with my Gumball Growl, we've got the Archangel Barrel, Mono Suppressor, Commando 4 Grip, XRK Void 2 Grip, and no stock. My MP7 class, Close Quarter Stock, 60 round mag, Merc 4 Grip, Recon Barrel, and Mono Suppressor. We have got my FAL class, which you guys have been wanting me to use more and more. I'm glad you guys do the FAL because I love using it as well. And since they nerfed it, it's technically not broken anymore, so it's just fun to use. XRK Marksman Barrel, Range of 4 Grip, Stippled Grip, Mini Reflex, and No Stock are the attachments on the gun. And the blueprint, for everyone that's been asking, is... what is it called? Soul Reaper is the blueprint name with the tracers that do the skull thing when you kill them. And then finally, my M4 class setup, no stock, Cronin Reflex, Commando 4 Grip, M16 Grenadier Barrel, and the compensator. And the blueprint is one of the new ones for the game. It's the new one that just recently came out. Where is it? The Abaddon, I don't know, I probably pronounced that wrong, but it's that. It's the Dismemberment M4 that like dropped literally a couple weeks ago. For any of you guys that do like Killstreaks though and don't you run Specialist, here are the Killstreaks that I do run when I normally play Search. I'm usually running UAV, Precision Airstrike, and Chopper Gunner. I'll flip between Precision Airstrike and Cruise Missile, but if you play keyboard and mouse, you understand when I say that it is pretty much impossible to aim the Cruise Missile. It sucks. So if you have controller, run Cruise Missile because Cruise Missile is definitely better. But if you're on KBM, we usually run Airstrike around here. I also will flip between Chopper and VTOL usually. Occasionally, I'll also throw on the, what's it called? The Support Helo, Advanced UAV, or even Juggernaut every once in a while. But the Chopper Gunner is probably my favorite killstreak in this game. It's really nice to get in Search, and 9 times out of 10, you call it in, and the whole enemy team just backs out, which is very satisfying. And then, of course, ending it off with the UAV. One question I get asked, UAV or personal radar? Never, ever, 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 ever run the personal radar in Search and Destroy. It's horrible. It is more helpful to the other team than you. That personal radar pops up on the minimap, and it's right over your head. So it tells the enemies exactly where you are. It's definitely more helpful for them than it is for you. Do not run personal radar. It's only one more kill for UAV. Run that instead, plus the UAV helps your entire team as well. Field upgrades, dead silence. I don't even say anything. Dead silence. Moving on. All right, moving on to all my settings. I'm going to show you guys all of them, including my controller settings. I'm just going to flip through all of them for any of you guys that want to see. I'm just going to go silent and just scroll through all of them instead of reading off and explaining them. I'm just going to flip through all of them for you guys so you can pause and look at what you want to look at. I will specify this. I specify this in every one of my class videos. Unlike what most YouTubers say, saying that I have the world's best settings that everybody needs to run is not my philosophy. It's really simple. What works for me may not work for you. My settings may not work for you. You got to find out what works for you. I think you can look at my settings and use those as a base to kind of figure out what you want to run in the game, but don't think that my settings are the only settings worth running. I know a lot of people ask what's the best sensitivity and all this stuff. It's simple. There isn't a best sensitivity. There isn't a best set of settings, except for audio. There's definitely a best audio setting, which is boost high. But besides that, it's really down to preference. I'm going to show you guys all my settings. Use them if you want to, but keep in mind, do not be afraid to play around with them and make them so that they're comfortable for you specifically. I'm going to flip through all of them though, my keybinds and everything right now. All right, squad, that is going to be it for the video. Hope it helps. Hope to give you guys some more SnD setups to run. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor and leave a like. And if you are new to the channel, once again, do me a favor and subscribe. And hopefully I will see some more of you over on Twitch, twitch.tv/DylanSeek. If you have any questions or anything that you think that I missed that you want to ask me about, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. With that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Seek and destroy. It's Besiger.